Oh, wait, we're not live? Stop. Oh, we're live. Thought we weren't. Yeah, that glitch was annoying. Welcome, everyone, to Huge Sports Talk. Am I on the right channel? I think I should be streaming to Huge Sports Network, I believe. And as you could tell, the notifications are a little bit bigger, which allows me to know if it's a message that's coming in or is it a stupid Discord that I always try to ignore. So, yeah. Thank iOS 15 for that, as I finally updated to it this morning. So this episode's going to work a little bit different. We're going to talk about a couple more sports, even though not many people will care about them, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyways. So here's the wheel. We're going to be doing a random order. So making sure the wheel's okay. Now there's soccer, basketball, football, baseball, ice hockey, lacrosse, water polo, Olympics, rugby, cricket, esports, and the one with the controller and a football is access football. So let's give ourselves a spin and see what we talk about first. Sweet, because I wanted to talk about this one first because the playoffs are about to begin. All right, baseball. Let's go to the Major League Baseball. Yesterday was a huge loss for us, but we are already eliminated, so I don't even give a frick anymore at this point. Yeah, 2 days from now is the playoffs. So the fact that there's only 2 days left of the regular season is crazy. Next week, it'll be next week whenever we do Huge Sports, it will be the playoffs of Major League Baseball. So it's coming up, boys. The fifth and final trophy will be awarded because, well, at least in the top 5 sports in the United States. Actually, no. The fourth one, soccer, I forgot about them too. But the soccer playoffs don't usually begin until around next month. Which, I can't wait for that. So Blink says clap me, wherever that's supposed to mean. So yeah, here are the standings. As you can see, Tampa Bay's clinched. So right now, the Tampa Bay Rays have clinched the playoffs. And the Baltimore Orioles are eliminated out of the playoffs. They've been like that for a couple of months now because they didn't get their act together during the season. So yeah, moving on. In the Central Division, the Chicago White Sox is the only one that will go to the playoffs from the American League Central Division, as the Cleveland Indians, which is going to change to the Cleveland Guardians starting next season, the Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, and the Minnesota Twins have all been eliminated. For the American League West, The Houston Astros have finally clinched a spot in the playoffs. So therefore, there are 3 spots taken. There's only 2 playoff spots left. So let's look at the rankings. So right now, out of the 3 teams that still hasn't gotten a win, it's in Boston, New York, Toronto, and Seattle. 2 of those 4 teams will be moving on to the playoffs. Right now, it looks like it'll be the Red Sox and Yankees clinching the playoff spots. But who knows what could happen. The Blue Jays could take over. The Mariners could also take over. Anything is possible as they're only down by like 1 win. They just got to hope that Boston and New York lose on out if they want to have a chance to get in. Now for the National League East. The Philadelphia Phillies have been eliminated. Last episode, they were not. Now they are out of here. So therefore, the Atlanta Braves are the only one left in the Eastern National League East. So therefore, they clinch. It's been a while since I've seen Atlanta clinch anything. National League Central. The Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals have clinched the playoffs, while the Cincinnati Reds, the Chicago Cubs, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have all been eliminated. And then for the National League West, which has not changed in a while, we have the San Francisco and Los Angeles have clinched. So as you can see, all 5 of the teams have been determined in the National League. It's just the seeding that determines everything. So let's talk about some seeding. San Francisco's going to get 1st seed. Milwaukee's going to get 2nd seed. And Atlanta's going to get 3rd. And the winner of the wild card game will then play. The winner of the wild card game between St. Louis and Los Angeles would then play the San Francisco Giants, while the Atlanta Braves would play the Milwaukee Brewers in a best-of-5 series, I think. Now for the East, or not East, the American League. Again, we've only determined 3 teams, and those are the champions. So all we do know is, right now, it is most likely going to be the White Sox and the Astros playing against each other. And Tampa Bay, I don't know what your story is yet, because we still are waiting on our wild card teams to clinch. Now, moving on to NCAA baseball. Now, when it comes to baseball, Japan wrecked the United States this year because they're really big on baseball, too. Out of the colleges, as you can see, Mississippi State is ranked number 1, but they're not doing the rankings right now as it is not spring yet, as this is classified as a spring sport, apparently. And yeah, get ready for a whole lot of fun. Moving on to the second sport. Everyone's favorite, soccer.
Football.
So we're going to start off with the MLS, as the playoffs is about to begin in about a month. As you can see, the calendar only goes to November 7th, as that is the last day of the regular season. Top soccer story on here: Brian White hat trick leads Vancouver Whitecaps over San Jose Earthquakes with a 3-0 victory. Here is the standings. Now, I'm pretty sure there should be teams that have clinched by now, but I have no idea why it's not listed here. So we're going to go ahead and look that up on MLS, because normally soccer's not built for eliminations and clinching. I'm going to skip that for now. Standings. We're just going to look up the MLS standings. Okay, it doesn't display it either. But as you can see, the top 7 are the New England Revs, which should have clinched by now. They have about like a couple games left, so. The Nashville SC in second. I'm going to just look the rest up on ESPN. So you got New England, Nashville, Orlando, DC, Montreal, New York City, and Philadelphia in the top 7 on the Eastern Conference, meaning all 7 of them will likely make the playoffs. As you can tell, the Philadelphia Union is on the bubble right now, and the Atlanta is on the hunt right now to get a playoff spot. For the Western Conference, in first place is Seattle, second place Kansas City, third Colorado, fourth Portland, fifth Real Salt Lake, sixth is the Los Angeles Galaxy, which was previously in third last time I reviewed this. So they took a huge hit this weekend. And then Minnesota has finally sprouted their wings and actually made it to the top 7. Knocking on the door is the Vancouver Whitecaps. Los Angeles FC is in 9th. San Jose Quakes in 10th. Dallas in 11th. Houston in 12th. And Austin in 13th. Now let's look up Premier League, as I know the standings have probably changed. Alright, top 4 matters. Top 5 matters, actually. Champions League: Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, and what is this one? Everton. 5th place is Europa League, which goes to Birmingham. I'm just going to call them that. And then for relegation, we have Burnley, Newcastle United, and Norwich City, which I believe is the same 3 teams from last time, as all 3 of those teams have no wins. Moving on to the German Soccer League, we have Bayern, Borussia, Freiburg, and Bayer in the Champions League division. Europa League, we have Wolfsburg. In 6th is the Europa League Conference qualifying, which goes to FC Congeli, or frick, I know I said that wrong. Position 16 is the relegation playoff. You do not want to be there, but there is a chance you can survive and not get relegated. And that is Arminia Bielefeld. And then relegation is guaranteed to those in 17th and 18th with this Bunchum. I don't like how the wild card in baseball is only one game. And then you also got Goether as well, who is also facing relegation in Germany. Italy. In Italy, we have Champions League in the top four. So that will be Napoli, Internazionale, Milan, and Roma. Fifth place is the Europa League, which goes to Fiorentina. Europa Conference League qualifying is in sixth, which goes to Atalanta, which sounds similar to Atlanta. And then relegation is the last three spaces, which goes to Spezia, Salernitana, and Cagliari. Moving on to Spain. Top four is Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Real Sociedad, and Sevilla. Fifth place is the Europa League, which goes to Osasuna. Sixth is Europa League qualifying, which is Rayo Vallecano. And 18th is and below is relegation, which goes to Granada, Alves, and Getafe. Now we're going to go over a new league because Mexican soccer is actually becoming more and more affiliated with U.S. So eventually I can see that both of these leagues could be competing together in the future. We already have a championship that goes for both our champion and their champion. And we're going to start playing the Mexican teams a lot more starting 2 years from now. So, as I believe we're supposed to be having a tournament that's going to pair us up with the Mexican teams. So we're going to go ahead and look at their league, also known as Liga MX. In this league, it is the same as the MLS. There is a playoffs. There's no relegation, no promotions. It's just the best cities in Mexico. As you can see, I don't know how the playoffs would work because it doesn't tell me. So maybe it's just the winner, whoever has the most points, would win the season. And right now in first is Atlas. I don't know where that is. I don't know where any of these Mexican cities are. Right now, I think this team, America, did they win the Champions? Did they win the There's the game. Yeah, they did. They won they've won the whole championship. So these guys are the champs of both the United States and Mexico, which is the biggest we could really get, unless if we compete in the Champions League, which every continent has one. So there's different levels. There is the tournament of your country. Well, there's a tournament of the country, or the league, actually, because our league is more than one country. We got Canada in it, too. So what does that mean? Does that mean that, oh, that's bigger than I thought. America, America is the champions of Canada, United States, and Mexico. Dang, that's the big 3 countries in the North America era. So that's crazy. I believe they beat Columbus Crew, but the Columbus Crew sucks. I don't know how they won last year. This year they suck. So don't get me wrong. The main question is, I don't know how this team made it to the playoff, to the whole tournament. So moving on to, I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, that was from 2017. Final league is France.
France?
Yeah, France's soccer. Okay, first, there's only the top 2 qualify for the Champions League for some reason. You got Paris Saint-Germain, of course, because Messi's on the team. And Lens in that Champions League qualifying is their team name Nice? Wow. Nice. You have a nice team name. Europa League. That goes to Marseille. 5th. Angers. Why is these team names sound like that they're from English? Like they're from the English words. 18th is the relegation playoffs, and that goes to Metz. And relegation goes to Brest. What the fudge? France, what is with your team names?
France? Well, it's French. What do you expect?
Last one is Saint Anthony. That makes more sense. Like, there's a team called Brest. What the frick? Is that the name? I bet you that's the name of the city because it's soccer and they like to name every team off of their city. Alright, let's get out of that before we die from absolute So we're going to go to college soccer, as I believe this is a fall sport, so it's active right now. Rankings, Georgetown is in 1st right now. My team is in 8th right now on here, which our soccer team is better than our football team. We took a huge, but we'll talk about that later. And it looks like we play Wisconsin. We play Wisconsin in soccer. What's their rank? Are they ranked? No, they're not. I don't see them anywhere. Alright, that's it for soccer. Let's move on to the next sport.
Basketball.
That is going to be the NBA, wherever that is. The NBA season starts today, actually. The preseason starts today with the Nets and the Lakers, which I know a lot of people are Lakers fans, so therefore they're going to be busy watching that at what looks like to be 3:30. they probably wouldn't schedule it later because of the NFL. Because today is Sunday, and you know what that means. So, yep, they finally reset the standings. Now, what I heard is they're going to be doing the play-in tournament again, so therefore the top 10 are going to have a chance to get to the playoffs rather than the top 8. So let's hope everyone had a great off season. Because if you didn't, you're going to be just as bad as you were last year. As you can see, there are tons of franchises on here. So there's no particular order. Monday, we got more season openers for a bunch of other teams. My season opener is on Tuesday against the worst team in the NBA, the Rockets. They haven't even won 20 games. Not even 20. So, hopefully we don't lose to them. If they had a great offseason, then their team would be better. But who knows? I know we didn't have a good offseason because... The frick was the trade, my dude? Alright, moving on to NCAA basketball, which technically is a winter sport, so it doesn't start yet. But since it's only one seasonal... It's only 1 quarter of a year away... They should be listing the schedule soon. Otherwise, I don't know what they're going to do. And they still have not listed the schedule. Gosh dang it. How long do we have to wait? It's September. When does winter sports start? Last year it started in late November. So you have until late November to figure this out. September. No, it's October right now. It's about like almost around a little bit less than 2 months away. Oh wait, they did I thought they did figure it out. Never mind. What does NIT stand for? So, yep, the schedule has been released. My bad, it always pulls up the bracket from last year for some reason. So, yeah, basketball's coming soon. I'm going to look up the top 25 because that's the most important. And we kick things off as our season will kick off November 10th against Quinnipiac. I can't pronounce. Why is there a college name that is so hard to pronounce? Here are the rankings. Since this isn't football, Alabama's not number 1. It's instead going to Baylor. But this was from last year and it hasn't been updated. They'll update it at the start of the season. So, we're not on the list. Yeah, we have 7 votes. So we're not on the list. Gosh dang it, Iowa's on the list. Hate them so much because of the freaking several amount of times they've ruined us in the last, literally, this Friday. Oh my gosh. Alabama's there too. They win too much. Stop being the Patriot. When All right, we're gonna move on to that because it's lag. The wheel of fortune and see what we get. Ice hockey. Perfect time for the NHL because it just started. NHL. And boom. Here we are in the NHL. Here look like. I bet you next week it won't even be the preseason. Oh, they reset them? Again? It's still the preseason. The regular season of the NHL begins on October 12th, and it will start off with the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the 2-year champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning, as they've won 2 consecutive Stanley Cups, and if no one stops them this year, they could win a third. Which I hope somebody stops them, because they're starting to get really annoying. So yeah, here are the divisions for the NHL, because if you were here from last year, the divisions were a little different. But now that we have an expansion team, the divisions are a little bit different as well. First off, we have the Coyotes moving from the Pacific Division to the Central Division because of an expansion team known as the Seattle Kraken have joined the league. Now, the top dog of each conference from last year in the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, of course, as the most powerful inside that division. And the least powerful in the division is the Buffalo Sabres, as actually they were last place. Metropolitan Division, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins as number 1. Actually, no, we don't, because they didn't make it that far in the playoffs. It was the New York Islanders who've made it the farthest in the playoffs, so they are the top dog in that. And the weakest link out of all of them here would go to the Columbus Blue Jackets. For the Western Conference, the Central Division, the strongest link, I believe, in this division I believe was the Colorado Avalanche. Well, actually, it's a tie between the Colorado Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets. As both of them lost in the second round of the playoffs. As Winnipeg lost to Montreal and Colorado lost to Las Vegas. So it's a tie between the Jets and the Avalanche. Now the weakest link will go to I think it was the Dallas Stars. I think they were the worst out of their division last time, and they are the weakest, so therefore they're the weakest link in the Central. In the Pacific Division, We're going to exclude Seattle because we have not seen them play for a year yet, so we will not rank them. So we're just going to rank them based off of the 7 that have played last year. So the top dog of this division is the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And the weakest link is the Vancouver Canucks. Well, actually, it might be a tie between the Canucks and the Sharks. No, I think the Sharks were 6th. I think the Canucks were 7th in their division, which is actually last because there were 7 teams in the North Division last year. As last year we had a 56-game season because of COVID. And it basically separated us from like 75% of the whole league. So yeah. So basically the Eastern Conference is filled with the Central Division teams, some North Division teams, and some East Division teams as well. So it's like 3 conferences in one. Metropolitan is Central, East, and that's it. There's no North or West on here. Western Conference, we have the West Division here, along with the Central Division, and the North Division. I'm just going to tell you this right now. All the Canadian teams were in the North Division. And the Pacific Division, it's basically West Division combined with the North Division. It's basically what they are. Now for NCAA hockey. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I gotta click more NCAA. I don't know. I think hockey is considered a winter sport based on... I never really know where it goes because our school does not have ice hockey. Well, at least my high school doesn't. I don't know any schools that have ice hockey as their thing, but I know some do. But right now, apparently every single ranked team was never ranked last ranking. And UMass is apparently number 1 on here. Turns out ice hockey's apparently a fall sport because the season apparently started just now. Why have I not realized this? Why wouldn't they make it a winter sport so you can play outdoors? Because the temperature outside is going to be cold enough to freeze ice sometimes. I'm not saying you should play every game outdoors, but sometimes there are outdoor games. I would do it during the winter, though. So, I don't know when we play. Because it doesn't sort everything out like most other sports do. Do not open Ecosia. And we're done with hockey. Moving on to the next sport. And rugby.
Sports medal.
Let's look for rugby. It's somewhere on here. Right here. Top rugby. As you can see, there's a bunch of stories about it. In the Rugby Championship, I think... What is that country? New Zealand? Yeah, it is. Out of the 6 nations, Wales is number 1 out of that list. Out of the Rugby World Cup qualifier, I have no idea how the standings work very well. But out of the World Cup qualifying, Germany, United States, Canada are in the top 3. I don't know how many make it to the World Cup qualifier. What is that country? Unable to load. Please check back soon. So you just tap anything and it messes it up. So yeah, they didn't build the page right. They have to fix it somehow, some way. Next sport. Water polo.
Person playing water polo.
I don't know what netball is, but I just got dozed off by that. Now the only water polo sport there is NCAA. I don't know any major leagues. But the champions is UCLA. They don't really put the champions... They don't really put much on this page at all. As the sport's not that popular. Next sport.
Rugby ball.
We already did rugby. I think it meant to select the Olympics, so we're going to go to do that. The Olympics. It's only half of the Olympics is done, as we still have the Winter Olympics coming up. So far, the United States is in the lead with 113 medals. Second place is China with 88, and whatever rock is has 71 medals. What is this country? Oh, it's Russia. So the top 3 countries is United States, China, and Russia. I don't know why they don't just say Russia as their team name. But there's a lot of teams on here. The one that surprises me. Okay, never mind. I thought I was on here. Guess North Korea again, they don't care about the world and they just care about themselves, so they don't compete in the World Cup. That's them. That's what communism gets you, my friends. Well, Korea is just North Korea is a controlling country, so they don't really do anything. Technically, if it wasn't for China, we would have. North Korea wouldn't even exist. It would just be Korea, and it would be just like South Korea. But this was because of history a long time ago, because of governments and everything. As you can see, there's a whole lot of sports. American football is sadly not one of them. Alright, spin the wheel. What do we get?
Lacrosse stick and ball.
Okay, so lacrosse is next. Now, I heard they are going to be coming out with the United States... Well, actually, no, there is a United States Lacrosse League, but... there's not that many teams on there yet to be noticed. As I believe there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's a couple lacrosse leagues. One of them is one of those leagues that all play in the same city, but don't have team venues, and all just play in one area and travel the entire country per week. But it's kind of hard to find your favorite team if you don't even know what city they're from. That's based on my opinion. Because I take pride in around where we live. So let's go find lacrosse. Well, at least college lacrosse, because it's the only one that pops up. And yeah, I'm a little upset about this game right here. We were this close to becoming a champion at something. And Virginia messed it up for us. And they're literally south from us. One state south from us. In fact, some of it is even part of the peninsula. So what the heck? So yeah. We are now in second on the lacrosse poll, meaning that our best team is our lacrosse team out of the men. I don't know about the women. Where would they rank? 9th. Okay, so most of our teams are ranked. The only ones that aren't is our basketball and our hockey and our football. And maybe some others, but I don't know. We got a couple of ranked teams. Alright, spinning the wheel.
American football.
It is time for the NFL and XFL and maybe the CFL if I can find it on here. Week 4, it starts today. Games that already happened is the Bengals somehow won again. So we end up playing the Broncos today. For those of you who are Steelers fans, you guys play the Packers, because I know there's a couple of Steelers fans because of last time. That's the whole reason why I put teams on what your favorite team is on the poll, so I can focus a little bit more on certain teams of what you guys like. Some of you, I believe... Oh. Now, for my stepsister, she's a Panthers fan, and they play the Cowboys today at 1 o'clock, which isn't that far from now. We play our game at 4:25. And since our game is at 4:25, we're gonna have today's streams be towards the second half of the day. So this is gonna be another one of those late night streams. So get ready for that. That's depending on where the game is where we do things. I don't know why Monday Night Football is listed here. So no, we do not play on prime time this week. As usually, prime time is anywhere from 8 to 11 p.m. And for the XAFL, no, not XAFL, we'll get to that later. XFL. As you can tell, all this was canceled because of last year's COVID. Even though it says they plan to come back in 2022, this one says they plan to return in 2023. And they say their excuse is because they didn't make a deal with the CFL to merge. I wouldn't find that as an excuse to cancel your season. You know, I kind of wish that the CFL merged with the XFL, and so that we would have 17 franchises in the league. But again, the CFL and the XFL failed to get their rules straight because they have different rule sets, as the CFL has 3 downs per play. So yeah, what about the CFL? I know that's going on now. I'm going to look it up. CFL. Canadian Football League. It should be regular season week 10 right now, or 9, I don't know. I don't know why is the CFL not being updated? I don't know. NCAA football, the most famous sport on NCAA, topples us. Here's what I was about to talk about earlier. That is insane. What the frick were they doing? I have some concerns on what Maryland was doing. 7 turnovers off of fumbles in one game is incredibly stupid. I don't care how strong a team is. If you fumble that many times, you're not winning games. So yeah, that's the reason why we're 4-1 rather than 5-0. And so now we are going to be moving on to week 6, and we are now going to be playing Ohio State next week, which is probably going to be a disaster as well. And we might go 4-2. Because what the Maryland football team tends to do is they start off fresh, but can't finish a game against a ranked team. Which is why they're never ranked. Now, out of our conference, that's the wrong one. That's not our conference. We're in the Big 10, not Big 12. Week 7, we end up playing nobody. Why are we not playing anybody week 7? Yeah, we play all kinds of crazy games. I just want this stupid season to be over already. What I also heard is that they're trying to expand the playoffs to 12. So get ready to see a whole bunch of chaos. Moving on to the next sport. Esports.
Video game
Nothing has changed on here for quite some time. I don't know why I haven't updated this page in a while. Alright, moving on, because there's still nothing on here. Spinning the wheel.
Video game controller. American football.
And you know what that means? It's Access Football. Let's look on Weebly, because that's where I have my website. I updated it a little bit. I updated both of my websites. So we're back at the Access Football Hub for some more Access Football talk. Let's start with the UAFL. Nope. Here's the UAFL. This league is supposed to start next year. I'm starting to come out with a bunch of more team names. I decided to change all of them because none of them relate to the country that they live in. As you can see right here is the standings page. This is only a model if we have a 36-team league. So if we end up not getting the 2021 Access Football, we'll go down to 32. If we do get it, but we can't create teams, we'll stick with 36. And if we are... And if we are able to create Access teams, we will go up to 64. And we will have a huge league, as I have a lot of teams that I've added. As you can tell, 64 is a lot. That's why my plan is to have 8 divisions known as the Atlantic Division, Polar Division, Tropical Division, Pacific Division, Arctic Division, Central Division, Eastern Division, and the Western Division. Now, if you're wondering where your team will be, that I'll have to figure out. Well, I actually already figured out where they might go. But yeah. This schedule's not final anymore. I'm changing the schedule completely. As again, this was before I put divisions in. So, ignore this. This will be changed. As there's going to be 6 games a day starting January 1st. As each division... as each team will play 21 matches within stage 1 of the contest, which is the first 4 months of the year. And they're gonna be playing intra-divisionally, and they will play every team in their division 3 times. So there will be such thing as series winners and all that. And if you're lucky enough to be in the top 4 in your division, you will move on to stage 2, and you will merge with another division. And we will start stage 2 with 4 divisions. Now, the division you merge with depends on the division you're in. As I already know which ones will be merging. For the XAFL, here are the standings right now. Division leaders, we have the Ironhawks, the Grizzlies, Bombers, and Bruins. And for our wild card, we have Las Vegas, Cincinnati, and Nebraska. So yeah, the races is still on. The The rankings have not been updated yet all the way because some of the matches from this week have already happened. All I know is we're 6-6 now because we lost, and Cincinnati won, so they're now going to be 8-4. So we are falling. We probably will not make the playoffs. Also, if you're wondering, the season has been extended to 17 seasons before the season started, so they did this in response to the NFL's expansion of their season. They like to do everything NFL style. For the NFC, Numerical Football Conference, AFC, which is this one right here, is Alphabetical Football Conference. But in the Numerical Football Conference, we have the we have our division leaders are being the Green Bay Axemen, Dallas Lawmen, Carolina Rebels, and the Arizona Heat. And for our wild card teams, that goes to Detroit, Louisiana, and Orlando. I don't think Louisiana hasn't been in the playoffs in a while. And they lost in the first round of the playoffs last time they were in there. Ever since Seattle left the NFCSL, that whole division fell into pieces. We have a 4-7 team about to make the playoffs. What have you done, Dev? What have you done? We just need to figure out where they belong and do something. Maybe when Access 21 comes out, because the skill ratings will be different, he'll revert them back to what they're supposed to be. So we'll find out if he does that or not. This has not been updated since week 10, so ignore all that. XAFL champions. What the frick? That is not the Bruins logo. That is the bracket that I will be going over later. I don't know why I put itself here. Weebly does a bunch of glitches. So the Season 1 champions is the Bruins. Season 2 is the Ironhawks. And Season 3 is the Braves. For Realistic Access Football League, it's not so realistic anymore because Caleb got impatient and started the games early. As Season 1, we have the Oklahoma City Cyclones being the champs. And Season 2, the New York Barons, as he somehow simulated 2 seasons within 1 month. Here's the Tourmaline Cup bracket. As you can see, the Washington Senators won against the Detroit Firebirds, so they will play the Sapphire Cup champions, the Kansas City Wranglers. Miami Warriors beat the Pittsburgh Ironhawks. Oh, fun fact. Because of how bad Pittsburgh performed this cup, they will remain 36th seed in the cup that will begin in November. I forgot the name of the cup. I'll have to look it up. So Miami will be playing against Boston, which is 4th seed. New York has beaten Las Vegas, and New York will move on and play Montreal. And Nebraska beat Oklahoma City, and Nebraska will move on to play the St. Louis Racers, which are 3rd seed. Surprisingly, usually they're worse, but this time they somehow found a way to get to 3rd seed. So here are the monthly cup champions. Kansas City Wranglers are the Sapphire Cup champions, so you got to watch out for Kansas City. And for the Peridot Cup champions, we have the Axemen. Now it's the Tourmaline Cup, which is the 3rd cup we're going to do. And it's going to be exciting. Now for the possible expansion teams, we have teams from Africa. The teams from Africa will play in the Central Division. As I combine 2 continents into 1 division, as each continent I added expansion teams for. As each region I added 4 teams to it. Africa and Europe will be in the Central Division. So that includes the Abaja Earthhawks, Addis Ababa Firecats, Cario Crocodiles, and the Brazzaville Leopards, as they will all play in the Central Division if this update comes out. And if you're wondering where they're from, they're from Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Congo. And for Europe, we have the Moscow Bobcats, Berlin Lions, London Eagles, and the Paris Lynxes from the countries of Russia, Germany, United Kingdom, and France. So that's the Central Division. The Eastern Division has teams from Asia and the Oceania. In Asia, we have Beijing Pandas, New Delhi Tigers, Jakarta Red Hawks, and Islamabad Star Fury. And those are the countries of China, India, Indonesia, and Pakistan. And for the Oceania, we have Australia, New Guyana, New Zealand, and Fiji. We have not yet determined the team names for them, as I'm still trying to come up with some. For the Western Division, we have teams from South America and the United States in there. And those include Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, and Peru, along with the Oakland Pillagers, San Diego Storm, New Jersey, and Jacksonville. But both of those, New Jersey and Jacksonville, are both subject to change because I'm thinking about moving them. I don't know where I want to put them. As I want to give a state, the Oakland Pillagers and San Diego Storm stay because of the history of Axis football, as those two teams used to exist, so we're giving them a team back. But for the East, I'm trying to add 2 Eastern teams, so I'm trying to look for states that do not have a football team. I know New Jersey doesn't, but I'll look at the popularities charts and see and I'll have to determine if it's A, an Eastern team, and 2, a team that does not already have an Axis football team. So, obviously, I will have to change Jacksonville because Florida's already got a team. They actually have 2 teams, Orlando and Miami. Now, the division's not going to be named the Canadian Division. I'm going to change the name to this Arctic Division, as we expand the league with Toronto, Edmonton, Ottawa, and not Calgary. I didn't mean to put Calvary. A stupid autocorrect. And yeah, if you're wondering what this page is, some platforms don't have. Some platforms block the last page. So I ended up putting that one down just so in case if you can't get there, you don't have to worry because there's nothing on there anyways. It's pointless. All right, last sport of the day is cricket.
Cricket bat and ball.
And in cricket, I have no idea how the sport works. So in top cricket, the Indian Cricket League is the most popular, so we'll go over that. Yeah, it's Indian Premier League. as CSK is in first. I cannot load the page because it pops up with unable to load every time. For some reason. I don't know why it does that. So yeah. That's it for the sports. Now we're going to go over some news about what I want everybody to do in Google Forms. That is here. 2022 chapter voting. How many responses do we have? We have 1. We need more than that. We need more than 1. So I'm going to post it in the stream chat for those of you who are interested in voting for the next chapter. No one's done anything. As this is a weekly poll, you don't got as long. You have 6 days to vote, and then on the 7th day we determine the results. So I'm going to post this in the chat. I'm on the wrong channel. I have to be on Huge Sports Network. You have
Wawa's pumpkin spice
didn't mean
coffee.
to do that. So yeah, right here, that's the link to do the form. I don't think it's gonna pop up, is it? Never mind, it did. I don't have to do it. So yeah, click the first link, not the second one. The second one is if you want to download Google Forms. But you don't technically need to download it as it's available on the web. But if you want to download it and make your own polls, go ahead. As you could use it for your own YouTube channels. That's what I do. I use it for mine. So yeah, it is important that you do this form because this will determine everything that happens next year. If no one does it, then guess what? I'll be picking things based off of the top lists of games. There is a game list that I will pick off of. If no one votes. As remember, think of the games that just came out that you really want me to play. Put that on there. There's going to be 12 of these. This is only the first week, and we're already messing up right now. What is today? Today is the 3rd. We're about halfway through the voting period, and only one person has voted. I'll make sure I announce this again in the YouTube stream later today, along with the Omlet stream and the Twitch stream. Now, in addition to that, later this season we will also be doing a game elimination poll like we normally do. But the game elimination poll only applies for next season. This one is more important because these polls will apply for next chapter. Well, at least for the first season of the next chapter. As it's the post-season of the chapter, and we need to get more people voting. Alright, now we're going to go over our website. If you want to check it out, it's hugeown1.weebly.com. Hopefully it works for you all. Sometimes I look it up and it doesn't pop up. As I've updated it to Season 10. This is our logo for this season because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the 3 games that are here are listed there too. I'll have to add more links down eventually so I can put in the rest of my YouTube channels down here. As I have 6 YouTube channels, an Omlet Arcade profile, and a Twitch. So that's 8 things I gotta keep active at once. And it's not easy. And also, if you're interested in competing in YouTuber Return Battles Season 2, add your channel to the channel crawler to have a chance to be selected into the future. As we will be drafting 4 people. We will be drafting 4 people. As we will, again, draft 4 people by the end of the week, and I will put them into groups. Depending on... The groups will actually be sorted out by channel similarity and class. If you're upper class, you will be playing with upper class people. If you're lower class, you'll be playing with lower class people. Eventually, you'll merge with other groups and stuff like that whenever people get eliminated enough. Each month, we'll disband a group, starting with Group L. There's going to be 12 groups this in Season 2. All of them will have 4 members in it. We have the channel trailer. It's not really a trailer. It's more of a season intro. We don't have a trailer for this season, but I will try to make one. I'll try to make one this season. Useless search boxes, quotes that are made by either me or a couple of my other allies. History hasn't been updated. This page will now update weekly for the rest of the year because we are going to be adding seasons from next year on here. As we posted the calendars of all 10 seasons on here. As you can see, this one looks the most bulky one because the month is a little bit shaped differently. So we required an extra row. As you can see, this season is currently ongoing. We will be drafting games 1 to 4 to be part of Season 1 during this season. Actually, we'll draft games 1 through 4 in both the video conference and the streaming conference, which are 2 different conferences. One I live stream, the other I make videos on. The live streams are up to you guys. The videos is up to the polls that are on rank.com. But I will exclude games that are going to be on the streaming schedule. As the rule is, each game can be on each conference once. It cannot be there twice. So as the schedule develops, we will have 12 games there. Games in the top 12 on ranked.com have the highest chance of being featured in Season 1 next year. As I listed Season 1 just now. This season will come in 3 months. There will be 24 games in that season. Yes, that's how much we will have. 12 for streams, 12 will be 12 will be for videos. The theme of the season has not been determined, but it will be determined by the end of the week, depending on what you guys say about the themes that I've chosen for the year. And then if you want to contact me, you can as well. There's a link to the Discord. Well, one of the many links. I'll have to try to simplify it into one link in the future so that we don't have like a million links. You can contact me with your email if you wanted to. I haven't gotten any of these responses yet. You can submit a newsletter, stream event, whatever this is going to be used for. I have no idea yet. And yeah, that's it. Oh, wait. Replace the logo. That's our old logo. We use this one now. There we go. Why does it look so blurry? It's not that bad quality. The frick. So yeah, that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed, click the subscribe button. We'll see you guys next week for episode 7 of Huge Sports Talk.